Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tarot by Theo. I'm going to do a quick reading today, and I thought since we're almost out of the shadow period of the eclipse season and things are starting to, that were retrograde, like Venus and Mercury, are starting to either come out of that or are almost about to. I thought it would be a good idea to check in and have a sense of, for the collective, where things are going to go from now in terms of direction, because in the last podcast we talked about getting a sense of clarity and direction, and with Neptune going from Pisces into Aries, I don't know about you, but I've definitely been picking up that that is when things started to shift energetically for me, and I started to feel like I had a bit more motivation, a bit more energy, started easing into being able to actually be a little bit more myself again. But I've also felt that this energy could be the start of not just you know us starting the astrological year and actually getting going, but also this could be a time for those in spiritual fields to actually rise. So this could be spiritual leadership. This could be people starting to come into the next level of their spiritual journey. And so I thought it would be really good to just check in and see what Spirit might have to say about that as we go forward from here. So I've got the Starseed Oracle, I've also got the Moonology Oracle, and if we need to clarify, I've got the Rider-Waite. So I just want to check in now. So Spirit, what do we need to know as a collective now? Neptune has moved into Aries, and this rise of spiritual leadership, the spiritual warrior. What do we need to know about this energy and how best to navigate it? Okay, split the deck. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I've never pulled this before. Whale and Orca Elders. And it says, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep, which is very interesting. So the diving deep and the water energy, that gives me that Neptunian feel. But I want to just tune into this card. So I can see there's like a, there's like, I don't know if you can see that, there's a sort of gateway there. Like, so something's being opened up and it's deep. Like something deep is opening. And the frequency of sound, diving deep. So I'm getting the sense of sharing your truth, but it's almost like there is like the actual vibration of when you speak is very important here. Okay, I'm just going to channel because I feel like there's something deeper here, ironically enough, that wants to come through, and I just want to feel into it. Okay, so one of the things I'm getting is being mindful of the frequencies that you allow around you. So this could be the kind of music or the kind of noise that's around you. Sometimes maybe getting some peace and quiet might also be needed. But it's almost like there is, like, I'm also getting the sense of there's this deep song that wants to be sung, maybe from like our ancestors. Like there is something from the past that's wanting to arise again, and it's coming from a really deep place. Okay, so I'm getting, I should pull the Moonology one, and that might help give me some more insight. So let's do that, because it definitely feels like there is something really deep to the meaning of this card coming out, but I think we need a little bit of clarification to get it. So what else do we need to know about this message? Okay, so we got three cards that came out, and I feel like I'm just gonna go with this. Okay, so new moon in Pisces. We just come out of Pisces season, and that is the home sign of Neptune, attuned to the divine. So it's like we're being asked to really connect deeply in ourselves and attune to the divine. Okay, the next card is Full Moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. So again, I feel that this is an intuitive call to get it more in touch with our spiritual side and let that guide us in our everyday life. And then the last one we have is last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. So again, this is about lightening our vibrations. So, and I feel that that's probably also connected to how we manifest and how we create as well, as Leo is often connected to creativity. So I feel that when I look at all of these cards, so we get the frequency of sound, attuning to the divine, embracing the flow of life, and lighting up. So I'm feeling like this is a call to raise our vibration, and this is naturally going to attract what's next in our life to come forward, and for us to be in a place where we can actually be ready for that and meet it. And I think with the attune to the divine, embrace the flow of life, I think what we're being asked to do is have a little faith in this moving forward, because it's almost like we're not necessarily going to see things ahead of us, in the way that we did before. We're not going to be really invested in these mental 5-year, 10-year strategies that didn't always necessarily pan out anyway. But I think going forward, it's much more about being in tune in the present moment, seeing what feels aligned and what doesn't, and moving with that natural flow, and trusting no matter where it takes you, that it's going to be aligned for you, and it's actually going to result in you ending up on the highest possible timeline. So it seems like that this is about deepening our intuitive and spiritual practice, raising our frequency to match what's coming next, magnetize what's coming next, and if we're focused on this work, then it's like everything else is just going to naturally flow and come into place. So and we've got so we've got a new moon, a full moon, and a last quarter moon. So with the whale and the orcas, it's almost like we're going to be singing the song of our ancestors. I feel like there is this return, this great return. It's been 165 years since Neptune was in Aries, roughly. And so this is a big shift. This hasn't happened for a while, but this feels older. This feels like we're returning to patterns and templates of old, and there's a need to almost sing it into reality through our vibration. There's something very strong about our vibration. Whether you sing or not, whether you are into music or not, I don't think that matters. I think this is talking more about the frequency of your being. But if you are into those things, those can help aid you. But this, I feel, is talking more about getting in touch with our ancestors and our roots. And it's almost like birthing something old into the new. And this is going to be like a realignment, a great realignment I'm getting that's going to come through, that's going to almost balance the scales of our spiritual lives and our physical plane. So what I'm also noticing, we've got water, air, and fire. We don't have earth. So, but what I did notice, I've shuffled it in now, but when I split the deck, the card that we had was an earth-based card, and it was about grounding. So it's almost like every aspect, the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual, has to come into attunement. We can't ignore one and favor one over the other, so there needs to be balance. And that's also part of this process of healing and attuning and acclimatizing to a higher vibration. So, okay, I feel that since we have a little time, I feel the call to just see. I heard what's next. The question, what's next? So I'm just going to pull from the tarot and just see what's next. Then, if we do this work that we've just been talking about, what's next? What can we expect with that? Okay, so we get the Empress and we get the Four of Pentacles reversed. So abundance, sort of self-nurturing energy. But then we get, so what I'm getting with this is releasing attachment to outcome. So we're able to embrace the flow of life by attuning to the divine, by also lightening up. And so, yeah, it's almost like abundance flows where we sort of release the need, the attachment for outcomes and certain expectations. So letting spirit take the reins very much feels like the case here. We may also see the rise of the divine feminine as well in this process, which will naturally attract the divine masculine to rise as well. But we may be seeing an increase in spiritual leadership from women again. I don't know if you've heard, I can't remember if it's the Hopi but there was some tribe that talked about how the grandmothers and the women were going to come back into leadership again. So maybe we're going to see women take the lead in the spiritual leadership rise or warrior rise that's coming through, which is naturally also going to draw the masculine into the supporting role as well, and to the counterpart role of that. So it's like the mothers, the feminine line perhaps being revived as well. Yeah. So that's very interesting. So I feel like I'm going to leave the reading there because I'm not feeling like anything else more wants to come through. But I'd be very curious if anything here stirred something for you intuitively, and if it does, feel free to share it in the comments. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Keep shining. Bye.